Hello everybody, it's Amanda here. Oh, let me just move my camera slightly. From Scrimpingmommy.co.uk. I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm just going to make a really simple card. Hopefully you will follow along and make one yourself. So I'm starting with a piece of white cardstock and I'm going to cut it. This is an A4 sheet. I'm going to cut it 11.5, so I'm just trimming that end off. So I'm just wasting that really small piece there. I'll use it for something later. And then I'm going to cut it down to 4 inches. And then I will get two. If I cut that one to 4 inches as well, I'm getting 2 card bases with a very small, tiny increment like that. You can do them at like 4 1/8 or something, but sometimes you can get confused. So I do them at 11.5 by 4, and then all you need to do then is score it at 5 3/4, and it's just easier. Okay, and that makes your card base, and I'll save that one for later. And then because I've done those easy measurements, I can just tell myself that that now measures 5 3/4 by 4. So I want my DSP layer to be 1/4 inch. I'm doing it 1/4 inch shorter. So that needs to be 5.5. Oh, it doesn't fit. Hold on, no, that way. I confused myself then. 5.5, don't take much, by the card base is 4, so I want it 1/4 inch shorter, so 3 3/4. Oh, my heart went then. I thought I'd cut my paper wrong. I thought I'd picked up a piece that was too small. There we go. And that will now give me a nice layering effect with just a little border all the way around. So all I'm going to do now is glue that on with wet glue. I absolutely love this paper. It is from the Year of Cheer. I've used it an awful lot this week because I can't put it down. We're not supposed to have favourites as demonstrators. But at the moment, this is my favourite because I just think it's beautiful. But I'm using it, and I'm using it up, and then I'll move on to something else. I get like that where you do, don't you? You have one that's kind of like you really love it, and you just use it until it's gone. Sometimes there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, this is the Year of Cheer foiled speciality paper. Absolutely love it. Okay. I'm just going to get my bone folder and make that crease a little bit sharper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate it, and I'm going to use washi tape. Now this is the set of 5 Year of Cheer washi tape, so it coordinates with this paper, so your tones are going to be the same, they're all going to match. And I'm going to use one of the lovely doilies. Again, I can't seem to stop using them. And what we're going to do is we're going to create just a bit of a washi tape section down here. And the good thing about washi tape is you don't have to be precise with it. You can just get a piece and just rip it and just stick it on your card, and you'll get yourself a lovely layered look. So we've just started with that wider one, and then I'm just going to build up like steps. So I've got this one. This is lovely. It's like a marbled sort of effect. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it is nice washi tape. You can, you know, peel it, and you can peel it off, and it won't rip if you be careful. So I'm just going to layer that on top of there, a little bit shorter at one end, and just rip it off. And I think I'll do it above there as well. Why not? And just build yourself a little layer up, like steps. And the colour's absolutely stunning. Just give it a rub. I think I'm going to add some more because it's so pretty. I'm going to use, well, I think I might just use them all. Why not? So let's get a lovely effect with this washi tape. And oh, you literally, it's so easy. It's awesome. I love it. You just layer it up. This is very similar to the card that I have I just want that to finish at the edge of the It's very similar to the card I have just submitted to this week's Global Design Team project, which is like a blog that Stampin' Up! Demonstrators can contribute to, run by various other Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. And it was to follow a sketch. If you go over onto my blog at scrimpingmommy.co.uk, my post is about that, and it shows you the sketch card that I followed to make this. Right, what am I going to put now? Right, I've done that one. I think I'll have some of this Skinny Gold now. It's so thin as well. It's so pretty. I mean, you could use that to put a gold border on your card. I'm just going for the kind of scruffy look, but it looks cool. And it's just really quick way to decorate a card. And I think I'm going to finish it off with the silver. And I'm just going down in lengths, so it's kind of stepped. Let me just get rid of that bit's a bit. That bit's gone a bit on wonk. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful tapes. And we'll do this one shorter here. And you've got all of that foiled kind of look running consistently because it all matches, because it's all from the same suite. Beautiful, I love these. You get quite a lot on as well. You see the thickness there. Sometimes you can buy washi tapes and they don't seem to be out on them, but these you get plenty on there. Love them. Move that out of the way. Right, so then what I did was I got to follow along with the sketch. I got one of these snowflakes and I just chopped it, not quite in half, just more than half. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to do my bizarre way of gluing delicate things, which is I use my hand as a palette. I know you can use sponges and all that. I just like to do this. I don't know why. Probably because I like to peel the glue off afterwards. Remember when you were at school and you painted your hands with glue and then spent the rest of the day peeling it off? Yeah. Well, you know, I don't think I ever grew out of that phase. But so the smallest piece I'm going to put to one side here. And because I've cut it on a straight edge, I can push it right up against the edge of that there. Okay. And then this one here. And you can create stunning effects with your cards very easily. You know, some of the inking effects and the special techniques are all beautiful. But if, you know, sometimes you don't need anything more than just sticking pretty stuff on. I'm going to stick that on there. Just needs to be a bit lower down, so that I have room for my sentiment. It is slightly different from my original version. I love it. I think that's really pretty already. So now I'm going to do my sentiment. I'll be good and I'll get a wipe and I'll wipe my hands. Instead of peeling it off later when I'm studying Q at school waiting for Alexia. Right, so now I'm going to use this beautiful stamp set here and I'm going to emboss using the copper embossing powder, because obviously it's going to look really cool with all of this foiled copper effect that I've got going on here. And I'm using this. It's a beautiful sentiment and it says enjoy the warmth of the season, and this is from the Hearts Come Home set. Haven't played with this fully yet. I'm going to be having a play with this afternoon, see what I can come up with. So I'm using that sentiment there. I'm going to put it on a long block like so, and then bring in a small piece of card and just dust it with my dust buddy. Sometimes I get a bit overindulgent with this and I end up with like powder all over. Right, so plenty of ink on there. nice and juicy. And you don't need to worry about cleaning the embossing ink off of your stamps when you've done. Apparently it helps condition them, especially the red rubber ones, so just leave it on. Apparently it conditions them and keeps them nice and supple. It's that way. So I'm going to try and get it kind of straight and central on this piece of card that is already straight, and then it'll be easier for me to cut it. I'll just put that away. I'm just going to use a piece I'll use a piece of the Merry Music paper to just sprinkle my embossing powder on. Save me reaching for my tray. There we go. I'm just gonna. It's a beautiful font. Is this stamp? Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, let me just move that there and put this back in here before I knock it over. And then I'm going to heat set it, so if you want to turn your volume down for one moment too. It does turn very quickly and it is super pretty. I'm loving this copper colour. Absolutely love the copper that we've got this season. It's so pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to just cut that by eye. By my wonky eye, like I keep saying. I'll do my best to keep it straight. Can always make adjustments if it's not quite straight. Okay, that's for pretty straight, I think. Is it? Let me have a look. Might not be, it might be wonkier than a... Wonky as a 5 bob? No, it's not straight. Let me give it another go. Let me just give that a bit of a trim. That's more acceptable. And then I'm just going to layer it. I've got some scraps here. That's bothering me because it's not straight. This is when my husband comes in handy sometimes. If I'm cutting a sentiment and I just can't get it straight, he'll come and sort it out for me because he's awesome. So I'm just going to glue that on there. He's really good at he's good at like measurements. He can just look at something and go, yeah, it's 3mm or it's 2.4. And I'm like, how do you know that? You're such a freak. Right, I'm just going to layer it. I think I'll layer it all. No, I'll just layer it that way, like that. Layer it like that. I'll just have to give that a minute to dry. Just a little extra minute because it is foiled. It will slide about until it's dry. So now I'm just going to snip that and try and get the same kind of increment on the edge at the bottom as I have at the top. And then cut that straight up because I just want the paper showing at the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to attach it. Where am I going to put it? It's a little bit bigger. I've done this card different to my sample. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this down a little bit more because it is slightly bigger than... I think I've put more washi tape on this one. But just show you my original, my sentiment fit perfectly on the top corner there, but I think I've put my washi tape higher up on this card. But not to worry. There we go. You can never make two exactly the same, can you? Well, I suppose you could if you were a bit more precise, but there you go. So I'll attach that to that top corner like so. It still looks really, really pretty. And I've now got two very similar cards, which will go in my Christmas card collection now. And you never know, by the time Christmas comes round, I might actually have enough to hand out. So there you go. That's a really, really quick card to make using the Year of Chia. Let me just zoom in so you can see it a bit better. There you go. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you'll give it a try. Don't forget to check out my blog, scrimpingmommy.co.uk, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.